Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vance. If this is the first time coming across my channel, thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful gown. So if you're interested, let's get right into it. This is the fabric I'll be using. These are the tools that I'll be using. So the first thing I'll do is to cut the lining of the skirt part. So for the lining of the skirt part, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric in a 90 degrees flay. So this is how to fold a 90 degrees flay. So I went ahead right now to calculate what to use. So to get a 90-degree flay, what you're going to do is you would times your waist by 4 and then divide whatever your answer is, you divide it by 6.28. So when I was done with that, whatever I got, I marked it there. So this was it when I was marking. So I got 19.1, so I had to mark it across this place. And then the length of this lining, I used 13.5 inches for the length. You can use more. The reason for the 13.5 is because I want a shorter effect. I don't want it to be too long, so I went ahead to mark this 13.5 round the down part to give me that circle form. So when I'm done, guys, next thing I will do is to connect all of my points together. So this was me when I was connecting it to give me like a straight curve. So after I was done with the connection, the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. So this was when I was cutting it out. So after cutting it out, guys, I'll go ahead and open it up. This was when I opened it up. So the next thing I did was to mark 3 inches. This 3 inches marking is where I'm going to pleat my fabric. Like, I'll place my fabric on the 3 inches line and I will pleat to give me that gather effect around the skirt area. So I'll go ahead and mark these 3 inches down to the full length of our lining. So I'm still marking straight down to the full length. So when I'm done with the marking, I went ahead to connect all of the points into a curvy effect, just the way the flay is. So this is a fabric that I'll be using for this project. This is a 2 yards, so I'll be using 2 yards for the down part of our gown. I'll go ahead right now to mark the length. So the length I'll be using will be 8 inches. I'll be using 8 inches for the length. 8 inches because I'll be folding with 1 inch and then I'll be joining to the lining part with ½ inch. So in total, I just calculated it 8 inches anyways, but you can do more than that. You can do less than 8 inches, so it depends on what you want. So I went ahead to mark this 8 inches down to the tip of the fabric, or to the end of the fabric rather. So after I was done marking, the next thing I did was to use my ruler to connect all of the points that I made into a straight line. Then I went ahead to cut it out. After cutting, I indicated the wrong side from the right side. After which, guys, I brought in the fabric that I'll use for the upper part, which is this fabric. And then I went ahead to rule out my starting line. So because we are first cutting the off shoulder before we attach the sleeve, so for the off shoulder, I'll be minusing 6.5 inches for the off shoulder. Then I marked my bust point here. I also went ahead to mark my under bust, which is 13 inches, my half length, and the joining allowance. I use 1 inch for the joining allowance. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll use my ruler to make this point or this mark into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. So guys, when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and impute my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2 is 4, so it's 4 that I was marking here. Then I use my ruler to connect that 4 inches that I marked into a straight line. After I was done with this, guys, I imputed my dart measurement on the half length. Then I went ahead to connect it to my bust point, just the way you see me doing. After I was done with this, guys, on my under bust, I came out by ½ inch on both sides. So I marked ½ inch on both sides for my under bust. After which, guys, I went ahead to give it a curve from my nipple point to my under bust. I gave it that bust curve. Then from my under bust, I connected to my half length. So I did the same thing for both sides. So now to get my tightening for the upper part, I came in by this side by 0.75 and I came out by 0.5 inches. Are you seeing? So when I marked it there, I connected it to the bust point, just the way you see me doing. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead now and take my shape. So I'll take my bust measurement, which is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. I marked it. I replaced my dart and then I marked my sewing allowance. I did the same thing for my half length. I skipped my bust, under bust, because I don't need it. So I did the same thing on my half length. That's where my waist to be. My waist divided by 4. I replaced my dart and then I added my allowance. Then I will connect this now into a straight line, like from the bust I will connect to the waistline, just the way you see me doing. This our dress will be having a bust dart. So for my bust point, I came down by 1 inch for the bust dart. Then that 1 inch, and I connected it to the nipple to nipple point that I made. So when I'm done with this, guys, I will now go ahead and cut out my piece. So this was me when I was cutting. Are you seeing how I'm cutting it? I didn't cut that bust dart straight. I had to go in and then come out. So when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and cut this upper part and then I will cut my darts, and that will be it for the front part. So when I'm done with this front part, guys, next thing I'm going to do now is to indicate my wrong side the wrong side of my dress to the right side, and then I'll go ahead and notch this bust point so that I won't make mistake. Then I'll go ahead right now and bring in another fabric for the back. This is me ruling out the starting line. So after I'm done ruling out the starting line, the next thing I'm going to do is to minus that 6.5 inches that I minus for the front part. After I'm done minusing it, then I will now mark my half length. So when I mark the half length, I will still add my allowance, just the way I did for the front. I'll use my ruler to connect this into a straight line. So when I'm done with this, guys, the next thing I will do is to mark out my zip allowance. So for the zip allowance, guys, I used 2 inches. Initially I used 1.5, but I noticed that the 1.5 might not be enough for me, so I had to use 2 inches. Then I connected it into a straight line. After I was done with this, guys, the next thing I did was to mark my nipple to nipple, which is 4. I marked it at the upper part and the half length and connected it into a straight line. When I'm done, guys, at the half length line, I came in on both sides by ½ inch, making the total of 1 inch. So when I'm done, I will now go ahead right now, mark my bust point, because I'll be connecting that half length to my bust points. So I now connected it to the bust point, just the way you see me doing. So now I'll be doing tightening for the upper part, that's on the dart. So I'll be doing 0.25 on both sides for the back tightening. Then I'll now connect it now to match with the half length, just the way you see me doing. This is all for the dart. So when I'm done with this, guys, next thing I'm going to do is to take my shape, my bust. I'll mark my bust measurements plus the darts, then plus my sewing allowance, just the way you see me doing. So at the half length, I'll mark my waist measurement divided by 4. I'll replace my dart and then I'll mark my sewing allowance. I'll use my ruler to connect from the half length to the bust point. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this was when I was done cutting. The next thing I'll do is to bring out the fabric that we are going to use to pleat on the lining. I've gone ahead to hem the down part of the fabric, and this is the lining that I'll be using. We've already marked it out. I'll open it up now and show you how you're going to place it and sew it. But I'll just take you to my sewing machine, so I'll show you how you can go about it. So this is it in my sewing machine. I've gone ahead to sew almost all of the layers. This is like the last one. So for those of you who do not know how to go about it, your pleating, this is how you are going to pleat your fabric to your lining. You're going to sew it all through to the end of the lining, just the way you see me doing. So when you're done sewing, this is how it's going to look. Are you seeing how pretty this looks already? So I'll just go ahead and iron it, then I will set it aside and bring in the upper bodies so we can start arranging and sewing it. So this is the upper bodies. I've gone ahead to add my hairstay to my main fabric, and I also added hairstay to the lining fabric. So I'll go ahead right now and separate the lining from the main fabric, and I will go to my sewing machine and sew it. It's quite easy. That's why I didn't bother to show you that part. So for the sleeve side, you know, it has a kind of gather side in the sleeve, like the upper part. So this is it. I used 43 inches for the length and 7 inches for the width. I'll go ahead and sew it, and I'll iron all of it and show you how they look, both the upper bodies and the strip. So this is the upper bodies. I've gone ahead to join them. So I'm ironing it right now. I'm going to iron both the main fabric and the lining, and I'll also iron the strip for the gown. That's where I'm going to put elastic. I'll also go ahead and iron it. So when I'm done ironing, I will show you what to do next. So this was when I was done ironing, guys. This is the upper part. Are you seeing? This is my lining. I've gone ahead to iron all of it. So this is the strip for my sleeve. So I'll be sewing this middle part because that's where I'll be attaching the elastic. The elastic will be passing through that part that I will sew. So this was when I was done sewing it. So I'm going to pass my elastic through this space that I made or created in the middle. So this is me passing my elastic, just the way you see me doing. So I'm going to pass it all through. When I'm done, I'll show you how it looks. So this was it when I was done, guys. Are you seeing how pretty it looks already? The length of the elastic, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I used 10 inches. My you know that I minus 6.5 inches from my off shoulder. So 6.5 inches plus 6.5 inches, that's 13 inches. So the length of the elastic was supposed to be 13 inches, but I minus 3 inches from the 13 inches, making it 10 inches. Why? Because the elastic is very stretchy. Even this 10 inches itself is even too much. So maybe you remove like 4.5 inches so that it will not be slagging, because my own actually slagged. So you should just do it minus 4.5 from it. Both sleeves are ready now. So I will now bring in my front part. So I will now attach it just the way you see me doing. Just watch closely what I'm doing. I'll pin it down from the dart leg. You can see that dart line. That's where I attached it. I also did the same thing for the other side. From the dart leg is where I began to attach the sleeve. So when I'm done, I'll just go and sew it, and then this is the back. I'm placing the back on it, and then I'll also sew the back just the way you see me doing. So this is also the lining. I'll go and sew lining to lining on both sides. So when I'm done, I'll show you. So this was it when I was done for the front. Are you seeing? I've sewn the fabric to fabric, and I've sewn lining to lining. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to turn this like this. I've gone ahead to iron. So you will flip the sleeve over to the back. Remember that the back and the front are now in the same space, because I did lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So I now twisted the sleeve in the right side, and then I pinned it down, and I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side too. And when I'm done, I will use my lining to cover it up, just the way you see me doing now. So this was me when I placed my lining on the right side, just like this, and I will go ahead and sew it down and I will show you. This is the skirt part. I brought it out so that I can join it to the upper part. So this is the upper part, guys. I'm going to place it on the skirt part just like this, and I will get the midpoint of the skirt part and the midpoint of the upper part, and I will attach it together like this, and I'll go ahead and sew it. So guys, after I was done, I'll fix my zip and we are done for the tutorial. Thank you guys for watching my video to the end. Please do well to subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share, and make sure you turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye guys.